Yes, I mean, I'm still involved with music, teaching guitar. The biggest thing we got involved with was the Woodstock 50th Anniversary Festival.
Yes.
And I have got a replica of the original ticket here. So that was a lot of fun trying to cram in a 3-day festival into like one day. But the big thing we're involved with now is it's my 10th anniversary of doing live student shows. So I have a thing called the Rocktober Show. Rocktober. So we have everything from the 50s to the noughties. So this is like the current students. I mean, I've been lucky, I've helped out people from 12 to 72. So we're going to have a regular set. We're going to start off with some acoustic stuff. We're going to redo the road to Woodstock, because in 1969 rock and roll was 15 years old, so we're going to revisit that. And then we're going to have some guests, and I've been frantically making calls today. So far we've got like Jake, who's in Manchester, he's an old student, he's going to be coming down. We've got Sohrab, who works in Brighton, he's going to be coming, and Nick. So we're going to have a few guest section, and then we're going to have another sort of student, and we're going to have a big sort of finale. So that's what we're getting ready for. So
sounds really cool. What venue?
Well, the venue's actually at the Cowden Social Club. And as I said, we're calling it Skank-Free Sundays, just as a bit of fun, because they're very good on the mod and the ska stuff. So we're trying to rev it up, so it's going to be like a rock and an indie and a blues kind of thing. Although we might do a little bit of ska as well, because it is the 40th anniversary of the special. So we'll try and get.
And ska's Coventry. The specials at Coventry Base anyway.
Absolutely, yes.
So
yeah. So we will probably do one.
To.
So we will do one.
Skank-Free Sundays.
But we will have one ska number.
But Andre, what are we saying?
I can identify with the detective thing, but on that thing, I mean, I'd approach the person directly. But personally, when this Woodstock thing came up, I did actually turn detective, because I looked at that, and you had 50,000 people saw the Beatles, and 500,000 came to Woodstock. So my question was, well, who made it go viral? Now, that didn't exist in 1969. So I did a lot of detective work. There was a guy, Malcolm Gladwell, who coined that phrase going viral, and he said that when a phenomenon happens, he says, it's like in school, we have sniffles and whatever, and then somebody sneezes and it's like catching a virus. But he says when something actually takes off, it can be as little as maybe 1 or 2 people who know lots of stuff, are known by lots of people, but they're literally on the edge of what's going on. So I'm scrambling around all this Woodstock stuff, spending far too much time drinking lots of coffee, and at 1 o'clock in the morning, I'm watching a heavy legal presentation on Woodstock and the First Amendment, would you believe? How, this is going back to the 17th state. I mean, this is insane. I'm getting bored out of my mind. But having said that, at one point goes, well, they took down the fences because they were only expecting 50,000 people. They turned up the day before. So now they're worried. You've got 50,000 people in front of the stage, and it's like, we can't get rid of these people because, there'll be a riot or something. Rock and roll had that sort of reputation for years. So all of a sudden they announce it's going to be a free festival, take down the fences. Unknown to them, New York's biggest DJ had a summer home there. So you've got like traffic going in. He goes on air, and his name's DJ Cousin Brucey Morrow. Says, hey,
DJ Cousin Brucey Morrow.
And he's still going. He's still DJs. I emailed him. He's 83.
Wow.
And basically he said Woodstock's a freebie. 500,000 people turn up. 2 million people are on the road. They go on the air and say, stay away from Woodstock. I mean, it was the biggest gathering of people in peacetime. And to give you an idea, it took Coventry 500 years to go to 500,000. So that was me going detective, and the Coventry Telegraph actually published that on the 50th anniversary.
That's quite the story.
Yeah.
Andre, that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
But you're quite obsessed with this Woodstock stuff.
Well, pretty much because it's an early example of an exponential phenomenon, and we have it a lot now with technology. I mean, part of the anxiety stuff, I believe, is from technological devices. I don't think it's handshakes. I think people spend too much time on their phones, which is one of the reasons why I still haven't switched on my iPhone. I have got one, but I still use an old phone. Not that I'm technophobe. I mean, I love Kindles and stuff, but you've got to be aware of this stuff. The thing we don't realise is it's changing so fast. I personally think it's these things, not handshake. We've been shaking hands for years. I mean, come on.
So do you avoid social media?
I'm very aware. I don't avoid it. I mean, I was using it today because, I've got a show coming up, so I use it today, but I'm a lot more strategic. I mean, I've noticed myself, for example, in the past, because I love reading, I plug in my Kindles to charge, and then one day I came down like, my Kindles haven't charged. I'm like, hang on, I can read a book. And I think you can get caught up in this. That there is, we can get into dopamine and neuroscience behind this, but it's at the early stages. The challenge is this stuff is changing so fast, we've got to be a bit mindful. So my thing about the handshakes and stuff, that's not causing anxiety. I think technologies, or if you let technology rule you, if you're waking up at 2 o'clock in the morning and,
Ouch.
Oops. And banging technology. Like I just,
Beating up
yeah,
microphones.
the producers said you're okay on that one. We just don't do it again.
Just don't do it again.
But yeah, I seriously think technology it's a bit of a double-edged sword. We've got to be careful with it.
Yeah.
We really have.